Time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, this has been a week where you just don't want to go outside. Tell us, please, are we going to be seeing a warm-up anytime soon?
Well, Troy, this cold weather set in last week just as predicted, and I don't think we're going to see it basically dislodge until we get into at least the middle to the latter half of next week. And if we really want the real warm temperature, I think we're going to have to wait a couple more months before we start to see consistently those temperatures above 50 degrees. And I think we're going to be a long time before we get there, and it probably won't be until we get into March. This recent stretch of cold weather has knocked the above normal temperatures for the entire winter across southern Nebraska almost basically back to normal. And after this stretch this weekend, we're most likely going to be looking at below normal temperatures for the winter period starting in December, farther north, probably knocking about half of the accumulated surplus of heat that we've seen during the first half of the winter, but we're still going to be running 3 to 4 degrees above normal. So the cold stays in the forecast, and if we go to the upper air model, we have that system that came through over the last 24 hours, pushing that cold air in and developed light snow across western Nebraska. This energy is going to combine with a trough to our south to create some pretty significant snowfall across the central Rocky Mountains. You can see surface lobe developing, the cold air damming up against the rock, creating orographic lift, widespread snowfall, and this will start to move down through the southern plains as we go through the weekend, so that energy drops all the way down into deep southern Texas. We're going to see some widespread precipitation in this region and very, very cold temperatures, sub-freezing in this region, and we may even see single digits. But that snowfall starts to develop, starts to push out rather rapidly through the weekend and move toward the eastern seaboard. So by the time we get into Monday, we'll start to see most of the concentrated snowfall and precipitation with this system moving into the Ohio River Valley in the northeastern United States. But another piece of energy is going to be following it with low pressure developing over the central Rockies. Once again, we're going to get another shot of snowfall moving through the central Rockies and southern Rockies, and that will eventually merge out into the southern plains as that deep trough basically stacks up and that cold air falls all the way down to deep southern Texas. Low pressure starts to develop in the southern portion of the jet stream, and we'll start to see moisture spreading from the southern Rockies once again out into the eastern United States, and that last piece of energy rotates around as we get into the midweek period. That shall reinforce most of the energy moving into the eastern United States. For us, the high pressure that has been firmly in control will finally start to slip toward the east. We'll start to see a rebound in temperatures, although they'll only be 5 to 10 degrees a day. It's going to be much better than sub-zero readings. As that cold air itself presses eastward on Thursday, so does the major precipitation shield, and more importantly, as this trough starts to lift out on Thursday and Friday and the precipitation shield moves up the eastern seaboard, that's going to lift this big upper air trough more toward the northeastern United States and allow some ridging to build into our region, giving us a much more significant warming trend. In fact, we might break the freezing mark across portions of southern Nebraska, and it will feel balmy, even though it will be a good 10 to 15 degrees below normal, and most of the precipitation stays up in the Pacific Northwest. So the 8 to 14 day forecast from next Thursday through the following Tuesday indicates below normal temperatures, but remember, we should be seeing highs in the mid-40s across southern Nebraska, and we'll be lucky to see the mid-30s. And in terms of precipitation, even though it's a dry trend, the GFS model indicates with that warming trend, as we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, there is the possibility of another system coming through the central plains.